So this is actually what we have right now. We have our through neck body, and I've got my piece of zebra which I'm going to cut so that I can kind of book match it. And then I also have a piece of maple, which it's actually going to be the same on the other side. It's going to be zebrawood, maple, zebrawood, maple, zebrawood, maple, and then zebrawood. And so I'm going to have to cut this down, both lengthwise and widthwise, just to get the right proportions. And then we're not necessarily going to glue up everything right away. We're just going to make a rough outline and outline where the main general body parts are going to be. If I can get away with having the maple width be enough so I can do most of the cavity routing, I'm going to do that. That way I don't have to glue up everything together to do all what I need. So that's where I'm going to be. Thanks. So here's the first problem that we're going to have with our new guitar build. And the problem is this: I was following the lines of for routing this neck and through body blank, using actually a template for the glue-in neck. And there's only this part of the neck actually coincides with the that's going to be glued in. And the other thing is that when you're doing when you're gluing up the neck, you're also going to be routing a channel for that in the body to make it fit nice and snug. Here we're not doing that. What we're doing is this is going to be part of the neck body throughout. And because there is a little bit of a contour in the fretboard here and here, the body is there's actually going to be a little bit of play, or a little bit of a gap here and on this side when I ultimately try to glue up the guitar, if I was just to make this side of the body flat. So what I'm actually going to have to do is I'm going to have to make a subtle carve here and on the other side, so that when it sits actually flush and then there is no gap. So that makes things a little bit more complicated, but not something that we can't do. And we just got to figure out a way to creatively do that. So, okay, so here we go. Onward and upward. Okay, so this is roughly the look that I'm going to be going for. So there's a few things to note. I've made it, I don't know if you can see this, I've outlined a double cut with shape for this guitar body. Now, it was just easier because if you look here, there is quite a sizable gap if I was to make it a single cut right in there. So for ease of my purposes, I'm just going to have a little bit of a gap there that I'm going to try to fix. Otherwise, it looks like it is a little shorter. The normal body is going to be out to here. So this is just going to be a tiny bit shorter, but that's okay. I'm not a big person. And this is going to be my guitar. And it's going to be a little bit offset, so I've got a little bit of a curve here, and it's going to flare out a little bit more on the bottom side. So these boards are not completely flat, so I'm gonna try to make those flat, and then we're going to try to work on it a little bit more. All right, that's it for now. Okay, so I have been having a really hard time dealing with this little bit. It's basically this small area, which would be a little bit of a gap if I glued up the sides to it. So I needed a way to fill this up, and I was thinking about sanding this area down and shaping it, and it was just not working out. So what I'm planning on doing is just taking a piece of wood, maple, and I'm gonna glue it like that. And then I'm going to run it through the planer so that it runs, it will simply just make a nice cut this way and level that out. And that way, it'll be a little bit of a maple wedge right in this area. And that should take care of the problem. Okay, so there's that little widget of maple that I'm gluing up, and we're just going to let that sit there, and then we'll be able to work it, and hopefully it will help solve our problem.